Hi there. So your forum discussion for chapter 2 talks about, let me pull it up exactly so I can read it. Hope you are doing well. Let's see. So the discussion question is, if I could work Moodle just a bit better, that would be helpful. All right. So it says, describe how the public you is different than your private self. How the public you is different than your private self. And that means how you are in public, how you are perhaps if you're eating dinner at home versus eating dinner at a restaurant. Explain some differences if you use that example. Perhaps it can be an example of if you are, think of something else. Maybe, one is dining out, another is talking to friends. The way you would talk to friends if you were in a professional setting or talk to coworkers, or how you would talk to them if you're at a private setting, for instance, like a party. So think about how you are in the different settings, publicly and privately, and how they differ, and give me 3 examples of those differences. If you are one of those people, perhaps your public self and your private self are the same and you don't do anything any differently. Hey, maybe that's the case. Explain the similarities to me and talk about how both versions of yourself, that public self and your private self, how you would respond in a challenging situation. So explain to me basically that regardless of whether I am in a public setting or whether I am at home, I would do A, B, C, D the same regardless if I was in a situation where perhaps I didn't like the food that was being served to me. That's one example. Or if you're buying a car, and buying a car from a friend versus buying a car at a car dealership, would you respond the same in a challenging situation? If a situation was one that you didn't like and you were offended in any way, or maybe you were upset, or maybe you were angry. So the assignment for discussion, and I really just want to hear your opinion and just how you came across to that idea based on what we're reading in chapter 2. So it is, describe how the public you is different than your private self and give 3 examples of the differences. And if there are no differences, explain the similarities and how both versions of yourself would respond in a challenging situation. So I guess if it's the same, it's going to be responding pretty much the same. But usually what happens, we have a public persona or self, and we have our private self as well. In my public persona, I work to make sure that I enunciate, that I say all my words correctly or as correct as possible. Privately at home, my southern twang comes out a little bit more, and I may use some ain'ts and words that I would not use in a professional setting. So that's just one example that I'll share with you. So good luck, and let me know what you got. Thanks.